Isang bulan na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni rongon ni bibo ko matagni ke misa po. Niya na isang bulan na sero ko ni sana. Chumena kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Isang bulan oyo Mr. Ben.
Kela po?
Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may no kina diwa na bula FM.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, new national flag now set for 2016, consultation deadline extended. Sadelpa submits petition on the change of the national flag. And the US has no qualms about Fiji's growing relations with China. The deadline for a new Fiji flag has been extended till the 31st of December this year, with the new flag to be revealed in 2016. In a statement released by the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama, the extended deadline is expected to allow Fijians of all ages and backgrounds to further contribute and consider what symbols most appropriately represents the nation. Maggie Boyle reports.
The deadline was set for today with 23 shortlisted flag designs before the public. However, the government has decided to extend the period of consultation. In a statement by the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama, more choices are going to be offered over the next few weeks and months, with the closing date for design consultations now shifted to the 31st of December this year. Cabinet and then Parliament will consider the new flag design when it convenes. Bainimarama says by extending the deadline, there is now ample opportunity for Fijians of all ages and backgrounds to contribute and consider what symbols most appropriately represent the nation. The PM adding that it has taken some time in the Fijian way for many people to become fully engaged, and he very much welcomes the current lively debate on the flag designs. The statement goes on to say that government recognizes that the public want more time to consider what form the new flag should take and are seeking more choices than are being offered by the existing 23 designs. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Sadelpa leader Rote Mumukepa led a party delegation to government buildings in Suva early this afternoon to submit a petition against the change of the national flag. Eleanor Tarangai View files this report.
This march, led by Sadelpa leader Rote Mumukepa and included General Secretary Pio Tambewalu and the Sadelpa Youth Wing, started from the opposition office, the courthouse, in front of government buildings, which houses the Prime Minister's office, and ended with the submitting of the petition, signed by 11,178 people.
Yes, we've just handed in our petitions, which is over 11,000, and that's in addition to the ones that we had handed in previously, which was 7,000. So we have altogether over 18,000.
Over the last couple of weeks, the Sadelpa Youth Wing has been spearheading the Let Fiji Decide campaign, a peaceful protest against the government decision to change the national flag.
There's so much history, there's so much of our country's stories tied up with this flag, and that's why so many people want to have it retained. Not only the old people, you see our youth that are here, and they are the ones spearheading this petition that we have handed in today.
After submitting the petition, Rote Mumu told FBC News it is now up to government to consider what the majority of the people want. The petition will be put alongside other submissions from the public on their views about the new flag designs. Eleanor Tarangai View, FBC News.
The Department of Information says there is no statement as yet on the petition, and Sadelpa says it will issue a statement tomorrow on the government's decision to defer the consultations to the end of the year. The Agro Marketing Authority has requested about $2 million from the government to upgrade its facilities to comply with international standards. AMA Executive Chairman Felipe Aliferretti told the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama that their facility in Nausori is barely meeting the international benchmark.
The Agro Marketing Authority facility is housed in the old sugar mill in Nausori. one of the country's first sugar mills. The authority is looking to get exactly $2.3 million to make the facility up to par with international standards and export requirements.
The structure is not meant for food complaints, and our big issue here is trying to restructure or refurbish the area to comply with food standards. Food standards under biosecurity, under HSEC, under rural authorities, and also with overseas standards, meeting the requirements that is stipulated by importing countries.
Until May this year, AMA exhausted its $1.5 million budget allocation on facility upgrades. The authority is looking to acquire the whole warehouse, which belongs to Rewa Rice Limited and is valued at $1.5 million.
There's ongoing discussion between the Ministry of Public Enterprise and the Ministry to get this property transferred to AMA.
Prime Minister Ratu Bainimarama's government revived AMA a few years ago after grave misuse of funds by former executives. He has assured the authority government will do its best to help.
People are now hearing about the work that you do here, and those that are living outside of the urban areas, the villagers are counting on you people to buy and market their products, and government is thankful to you.
Bainimarama toured the facility today, getting first-hand information on how far AMA has progressed and the achievements it has made. AMA currently exports ndalo, cassava and virgin coconut oil to markets in Australia, New Zealand and Korea. It is in the process of acquiring more markets to sell its products. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
The United States government says Fiji's growing relations with China and Asian region is not an issue for the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs Daniel Russell made the comment at a press conference in Suva. Russell was on a one-day courtesy call to Fiji yesterday, where he met with Prime Minister Ratu Bainimarama and members of the opposition. Edwin Nund reports.
At a media conference last night, Daniel Russell made it clear that the U.S. has no qualms with Fiji leaning more towards Asia.
We have no problem with Chinese influence. The question is, does the engagement and involvement of Chinese businesses, of Chinese tourists, Chinese government, of Chinese military serve the long-term interests of your people? Influence is fine. Coercion is not fine.
Russell points out that the United States is keen to pick up where things left off in 2006.
We don't seek to force any country to choose between friendship and partnership with the United States and the West or a relationship with China. That's a false choice.
His talks with Prime Minister Bainimarama centered on climate change, global terrorism and international peace and security. The senior U.S. government official adds his visit to Fiji is the result of successful elections last year. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
A 12-year-old student of Delkusha Boys School died after he was hit by a bus in Nausori. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says the victim crossed the road from behind a bus and was hit by an oncoming bus yesterday afternoon. The accident has prompted the Land Transport Authority to remind parents and guardians to teach children the correct way to use the roads.
We've been advising the parents. We've been telling them, the seriousness of this matter and how they should all be talking to children and guiding them and advising them.
The student's death has taken the road death toll to 30 compared to 24 for the same period last year. Coming up, development plans set for Singatoka riverbanks.
just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker.
Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
The Fiji police force has recorded an increase in robberies, burglaries and theft recently. This was among issues brought up at a Talanoa session between Police Commissioner Ben Huneveld and the people of Nausori this afternoon. Ellen Stolz reports.
A small part of the business community in Nausori met with the team to air their concerns about the rise in crime. Chief of Operations ACP Rusiate Tundravu says the answer to some of these incidences is smart deployment of officers.
I cannot deny that. That's a real fact that the only thing is a challenge for us to improve on what we are currently doing so that we can manage the situation and let the people feel free. They know that they are safe rather than saying that they are not safe at their various home.
Police Commissioner Ben Huneveld answered most of the questions and at the end reiterated the need for the community to work with the police.
If we can combine the community through all our processes, do a VATA, community policing, sector policing, neighborhood watches, business watches, we will address the crime in Fiji.
The Talanoa Sessions is one of many to come in a bid to improve service delivery by police. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
A former Vice President, Ratu Seniloli, has died at the age of 76. Ratu, who is also the Turanga Taukei Naua, served as Vice President from March 2001 to November 2004. He was forced to resign in 2004 following his conviction for treason. Funeral gatherings or Irengu will begin on Monday at his chiefly island of Mbao and will be buried on Wednesday. Ratu is survived by his wife, Andiseru, and 2 children. Two religious bodies say they do not condone spousal rapes, adding they are now formalizing strategies to speak to men who follow their faith to put an end to rapes within marriages. The Sanatan Dharam Pratinidhi Sabha Fiji and the Methodist Church openly agree that safe-sex talk should not be a taboo issue anymore. Chanel Sivan with the story.
The Methodist Church says the Bible does not condone rape and other sexual offenses, and it has developed strategies to address the issue. The Fiji Women's Crisis Center has revealed alarming statistics indicating that it received 22 cases of spousal rape in the first 6 months of this year.
So we're moving into this area very seriously. We know it's going to take time because we're dealing with changing mindsets, changing a culture within our communities in Fiji, which goes beyond ethnic backgrounds, beyond religious backgrounds as well.
The Sri Sanatan Dharam Pratinidhi Sabha of Fiji issued a strong message to the men who follow the Hindu religion.
You cannot force yourself to anybody, and the law applies if you are on the street or if you are in your bedroom, it applies. So if you cannot force anyone to love you, see, so it has to come from within a person, and we should respect that.
Virendra Lal says during marriages, newlywed couples are counseled, and the men know marital rape is a no-no.
Women usually are pushed back or discouraged from reporting because of the mindset that, rape within marriage is not something that happens. But as you've seen from our stats, that it's something very real.
Marriage is a lifelong companionship, and it is important that the aspects of companionship is understood and there is mutual respect and understanding. The maximum sentence for rape is life imprisonment. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
2 police officers from China are helping Fijian police investigate the murder of a 12-year-old student in Suva last year. The officers, who are on attachment with the police force, have expertise in forensics. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says the officers will be here until December and will assist in the investigation of the murder of the student of Yetsen School. Language has been an obstacle in the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death of the victim, who is of Chinese descent. The student was found dead by her father inside their home in Samambula last September. Several people were questioned but released in the early stages of investigation. The Singatoka Town Council wants to develop land near its riverbanks. Minister for Local Government Praveen Kumar Bala says there are a number of developments that are now being eyed in Singatoka. Christopher Chand reports.
This area of land is being earmarked for future development.
We want to carry out a study on that, and there will be a lot of consultation process first, because we don't want we go ahead with that and then later on we have calls from ratepayers and the citizens on that development. So what we intend to do is just to carry out a study and then have a consultation process.
Plans are to reclaim the land near the riverbank, but first they will explore the opportunities available.
I can tell you one thing, it's a very ideal place for development, and that will definitely generate revenue for Singatoka.
The town is experiencing steady growth with a number of new developments taking shape.
Every day we receive the applications for development, so it's a good indication, and that reveals that there's a lot of investor confidence in this country.
The tourism industry and the agricultural sector are the backbone of Singatoka's economy. New opportunities are now arising for the town located on the banks of the country's longest river. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up tonight, Flying Fijians to play a World Cup warm-up match against Canada, and Wellington Phoenix Academy side pull one back from Fiji under-23s this afternoon. This and more after the break.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulavanaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Vodafone Flying Fijians will play a warm-up match against Canada just ahead of their Rugby World Cup opening game against England in September. Flying Fijians coach John McKee says this match and the busy schedule in the next couple of months is exactly what the team needs heading into the Rugby World Cup pool of death. Tsale Ndadakadaka has the details.
The Flying Fijians find themselves in a tough Rugby World Cup pool alongside host England, Australia, Wales and Uruguay. 2 weeks prior to the opening game against England, the side will have a hit-out against Canada.
So that's an important game for us. So that's the last weekend we can play before the World Cup, and on the back of our fitness camp here in Fiji and our travel to the UK, that's a very important game to prepare ourselves for the opening match.
Fiji will be playing 7 matches over the next 2 months, starting with the Maori All Blacks on July 11th before the Pacific Nations Cup opener against Tonga the following week at the ANZ Stadium.
The 2.5 months, you know, we've got a very, very good program planned, and we have the players together for nearly all of that time. You know, we can do a lot of work over that time, and we can make quite a difference around our you know, specific skills for the game that we need to play, to really work on our game plans, and also to really top our fitness up.
40 players will march into a 3-day camp in Suva tomorrow, with McKee to name the squad against the Maori All Blacks next week. Talendo Zakavak, FBC Sports.
The Wellington Phoenix Academy side defeated the Vodafone Fiji under-23s 3-1 at Govind Park this afternoon. The visitors scored 2 goals in the first half and its third in the second, before Napoleon Ngasivakatini scored Fiji's lone goal in the 69th minute. Meanwhile, the match between the Fiji senior side and Wellington Phoenix is currently underway. Still with football, the Vodafone Fiji under-23 side stands to share $50,000 if they win the Pacific Games gold medal and qualify for the 2016 Rio Olympics. Fiji Football Association President Rajesh Patel made the announcement last night at the team naming in Ba. 9 players that featured in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup earlier this year have forced their way into the side, including Saula Wanga, Iosefo Vervo and Nikhil Chand. Going up against the best teams in the region, the side is confident of its chances. The Pacific Games football gold medalist will automatically qualify for the Rio Olympic Games. 10 former and current students of Yetsen Secondary School received an exhilarating send-off to the Pacific Games this morning. The athletes were reminded that the entire school community is not only proud of their achievement, but will be cheering them on throughout the two-week competition. Tsalen Dadakadako reports.
These former and current students of Yetsen Secondary School will be part of the 400-member Team Fiji contingent to the Port Moresby Games. A special assembly was held today to acknowledge the athletes' achievement in representing the country as well as the school.
Speaking of our national tax, Yetsen Secondary School today I would say stands school because of your achievement and for your selection in the national team.
The athletes will be participating in a wide range of sports, from sailing, athletics and swimming to basketball and table tennis.
I'd like to thank all the team members that are here today. Everyone's sacrificed many hours swimming in the court, sailing, on a field, all sorts of places. And that sacrifice is going to do all of you proud and they're going to be proud.
We, the Yetsen family, are very proud of your achievements. And we know it's never going to be easy representing a country to the international.
One thing is for sure, these athletes will not be lacking any support when the Pacific Games gets underway from this weekend. Talento Takatak, FBC Sports.
And still on the Pacific Games, Digicel Fiji will remove roaming charges for Team Fiji athletes using a Digicel SIM card during the games in PNG. The initiative is to ensure the athletes stay connected with their loved ones back home throughout the competition.
Digicel has put together a very special proposition for 453 people that are travelling to PNG, which enables them to make phone calls and use data just like they were roaming, just like they were at home rather. So we've removed roaming charges for close to 500 of the travelling party, which is part of our contribution to the Pacific Games.
The first batch of Team Fiji athletes will depart the country tomorrow for PNG, with the opening ceremony to be held on Saturday in Port Moresby. And that's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
The Reserve Bank says improved performance by various sectors confirmed this year's robust growth outlook. The June economic review shows new lending for investment has risen and domestic cement sales are higher, indicative of strong construction activity. The RBF Job Advertisement Survey indicates favorable labour market conditions in community, social and personal services, construction, finance, insurance, real estate and business services sectors. Overall, liquidity in the banking system rose over the month by 4.9% to $633.5 million in May, underpinned by an increase in foreign reserves. Currently, liquidity is around $651.6 million, and foreign reserves are around $1,987 million. Mostly fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today. A tropical depression 17F was analyzed near 4.2 south and 160.4 east at 3 p.m. today. It is gradually moving westwards and is expected to continue to bring heavy rain and near gale force winds over the Solomon Islands. Meanwhile, a trough of low pressure lies north of Vanuatu and extends over to Samoa to southern Cooks. A broad east to southeast wind flow prevails over most southwest Pacific Island countries. Savo managed a maximum temperature of 25 degrees today. It was 26 in Suva, 28 in Nandi and Lautoka, and 30 degrees in Lambasa. Cloudy periods with brief showers, are expected over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands tomorrow. Elsewhere, fine, cool at nights. Thursday's outlook, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, cool at night. And recapping our top stories, the deadline for a new Fiji flag has been extended till the 31st of December this year, with the new flag to be revealed in 2016. The Agro Marketing Authority has requested about $2 million from the government to upgrade its facilities to comply with international standards. And the United States government says Fiji's growing relations with China and Asian region is not an issue for the US. Here is this week's poll question. We're asking, do you think Fiji Airways is doing all it can to serve its customers? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
झिलमिल सितारों का
घर संसार में आपका स्वागत है। आपका अपना छोटा सा स्वर्ग, जहाँ प्यार भरे रिश्ते पलते हैं, जहाँ हेल्थी रहने की सलाह दी जाती है, जहाँ हम आपको और भी सुंदर बनाते हैं और जहाँ स्वाद की सौगात भी है। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। सोमवार से शुक्रवार 9 से 12 तक रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर घर संसार में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
ऐसा सुंदर सपना अपना